Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir! Let's go! What's going on, everybody? Civ checking in, and everyone coming into 2025. What a way to start off the year. Because after what happened against Boston in our last game, oh man, I don't know about you all, but I know for sure I had a lot of doubts on the Raptors in this game. Because not only was it the back-to-back game, but more importantly, I really felt that all the mistakes that the Raptors were making up to this point was going to carry over into this game due to the fact that they didn't even have enough time to really analyze the game or things of that nature. But I was wrong on that front because they didn't let this game phase them at all, and instead they played their hearts out, and it felt as though they really turned over a new leaf, and it really felt like they turned over a new leaf to start off the new year. So, because this is a win, we only gotta talk about the positives like we always do on this channel. So without further ado, let's get started. So right off the bat, we need to shout out our point guard being Immanuel Quickley, because man, oh man, what a difference a true point guard can make for this team. Now granted, I know that Scotty Barnes was playing point guard for a good portion of the season, especially with Immanuel Quickley out, and we had other players like Jacoby Walter, Jamal Shead, Davion Mitchell, and everyone else pitching in, especially in that point guard role. However, there's nothing like having Immanuel Quickley on the court, because for one thing, he already brings the speed, which is his bread and butter, but more importantly, you can really feel the amount of energy this man had, especially watching all of those games on the sideline. And I can't really blame him either. It's going to be super tough for a player of his caliber to just sit on the sidelines after what the Raptors went through up to this point. I mean, we were getting blown off the court, we were not getting calls our way, and more importantly than that, we were just miscommunicating on all sides of the floor. Now granted that we had some of those miscommunications again in this game, but Immanuel Quickley basically buried that almost to the point where we didn't even think about it by the time this game ended. And honestly, if we get more performance like that for Immanuel Quickley, where his power alone will help us just shatter all the doubts that we have, I'm all for it. Tank or no tank, we just need to keep riding with it, and I believe that based on this game, Immanuel Quickley really knows how to get it done, especially as our lead point guard. So shout out to him for his game, and hopefully he carries that into the future games as well, especially against the Orlando Magic that we'll be facing on Friday. Now on the topic of Immanuel Quickley, another two players for the Raptors that we need to shout out in this game is Scotty Barnes and Grady Dick. Firstly, for Scotty Barnes, man, you can really tell how much of an impact Immanuel Quickley has on this man. Outside of the fact that Scotty Barnes is our franchise player, more importantly, what I want to let you all know is in this game, Scotty Barnes really wasn't the point guard that much. Sure, he brought up the ball a few times and did a little bit of ISO plays and things of that nature, but you could really tell that after Immanuel Quickley got on the floor and was controlling the ball and things of that nature, he used more of his body to get his shots. I'm talking things like getting to the glass more effectively, hitting that mid-range, posting up, and hitting that fadeaway shot, and everything else power related. He was mainly focusing on that, and honestly, that is something that Scotty Barnes needs to do more frequently going forward. Because listen, you can't teach height, and the fact that Scotty Barnes is damn near almost 7 feet and can do all of that, when I mean all of that, I mean the skills that I've mentioned earlier or just now. It is very surprising to me and all of us Raptors fans that he hasn't been tapping into that up to this point. So hopefully he will watch the film of this game and realize that what he did in this game was super effective and he should continue to develop more skills like that to optimize his mid-range game as well as optimize his abilities to get to the rim through power alone. So we'll just need to see what Scottie Barnes does against opponents such as the Orlando Magic, or rather any team that is more physical, and we'll need to see how he continues to sync up with Immanuel Quickley as the games continue. Now, the other player that really benefited off Immanuel Quickley's performance tonight was Grady Dick. And man, oh man, there's a lot to say about Grady Dick. Not only was he on a mission tonight, but more importantly, I feel like him sitting out yesterday against the Boston Celtics was actually a blessing in disguise, because there is something about this Raptors squad, more specifically about the players that sit out a game or two and then come back, because they're much more energized than the rest of the squad. Maybe it's because they are able to see their game, or rather the whole game as a whole, from the sidelines, and that gives them a new perspective. Or it could be that they're just frustrated with the losses that we're having up to this point. Either way, Grady Dick knew that tonight was one that we needed to take advantage of, and we needed to start the new year right. And he definitely did that, especially from three, because not that he was rushing his three-point shots, but he made sure that he was taking the shots that were wide open or to his liking, and luckily for him, or through his hard work and things of that nature, he definitely hit those shots and made sure that his impact was felt throughout the whole game. Whether that be hitting the threes, whether that be slashing to the paint, whether that be doing acrobatic layups, whether that be throwing lobs, and anything else. Basically, he made sure that his presence was known in this game, and it definitely was a contributing factor, especially in that fourth quarter, because without his contributions as well as the rest of the team, well, the game would have been much more tighter than it was in this game. So shout out to Grady Dick for his performance tonight, and hope he continues this kind of performance going forward in our future games of 2025. Finally, prayers up to the Brooklyn Nets players in this game, because man, oh man, you really don't want any injuries for your team, especially for a team like the Brooklyn Nets, whose whole purpose, or I believe the main purpose of this season, is to prove those naysayers wrong and become a legitimate force in the East. And to have major injuries like the ones today to start 2025, it really puts a dampen on your expectations. So with that being said, I really hope that those Brooklyn Nets players get a speedy recovery and they will be able to join the squad soon. So yeah, that wraps up my thoughts on this Raptors versus Brooklyn Nets game that happened on January 1st, 2025. And to sum up everything that I mentioned up to this point in the video, basically it's so good to get back in the win column, because when the Raptors are losing like how we've been losing in this 11 game stint up to this point, it really not only affects the players in terms of a psychological battle, because through these losses you can really tell that they were really doubting themselves, especially from a mental space, but also for the franchise as well as the fans. Even though we're on a tanking season, there is still some dignity that we have as Raptors fans, because we're a hard-working team and we fight hard on every single night. So to have those performances where we basically threw in the towel and just gave up on the play, especially in that second half, it really was unsettling for us. And I believe that this last game against the Boston Celtics that happened yesterday, it really was the straw that broke the camel's back. And I am so glad that the Raptors responded tonight against the Brooklyn Nets and made it a very demanding win. So with that being said, let me know in the comments below what you thought of this game. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you think that Immanuel Quickley did too much? Do you think other players should have been credited more? or anything else, let me know in the comments below, and I'd love to talk about it and much more with you down there as well. And yeah, with that being said, welcome to 2025, y'all. I hope you have a great 2025 ahead, and until the next video, I hope you all continue to be amazing. Take care, everyone.